So for the longest time, we've had this engine over here in the background, just chilling, waiting to be put in this MR2 over here. For those who are new to the channel, this is Lachlan's 1995 Bathurst MR2. A little bit of a benky spec. It's not the best sort of MR2. And we are here to make it even better. Disregard all the bodywork that has been done to it so far. We're gonna be chucking this 1MZ FE out of a 1998 Toyota Camry into the back of this car over here. Currently it has a 4-cylinder 3SGE. Apparently it's got cams and pistons and whatever, but it's absolutely crap, isn't it, fam?
It sounds mint.
So in today's video, we're going to be inspecting this engine, seeing if it's any good for the swap. It's apparently done 290,000 kilometers. So there's stuff that we need to look at before we chuck it in the Benky MR2. We're going to be doing a complete teardown. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And for more content on this car coming soon, hopefully, keep subscribed because obviously we can't drive this car yet until it's got its exhaust done. Unfortunately, Lachlan and I both don't know how to do any sort of engine work, so we're here going to either be failing at this or learning from it. So this engine we got for free from Michael's. That's why we're not too worried about if we screw it up or anything.
It's also going to give us our first taste of sort of deep engine sort of repair, I guess. Is repair the right word, Rex? I don't know. Deep engine work.
One more time.
Deep engine work.
We're going to try to make this video as interesting as possible, but unfortunately we're going to get most of this being time-lapsed. This is going to be mostly time lapses because there's a lot of work involved. We're going to start off removing the air intake plenum, whatever you want to call it. Then we're going to remove the rocker covers, go from there, because that's all we know how to remove.
Delicious.
In one of the other videos we did, we actually disassembled a little bit of the 1MZ and we had a look at the cams and we were a little bit worried because we could see little heat spots, as you can see over there. They're not like purely, you know, reflective like the 3VZ was when I took the cam covers off. So we thought it was a little bit of an issue, but it turns out it should be right. But yeah, we were a little bit worried with that, but there's gonna be some work that needs to be done with this engine if we do end up using it, so. So we've now removed the middle bit of the plenum that divides...
Intake runner?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Intake thingo?
Intake thingamajig.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. We just removed the bit that pretty much directs air to both the 6 cylinders, or both banks, 3 and 3. You want to demonstrate, fam? Yes. You gotta use the blowing motion, dude. Like the... Dude, what have we found in here? Oh, dude, don't get it in there.
Just yeet.
Oh, okay. Dude, is that a sticker in there? There's a sticker in there. What the hell? Can you guys see that? Dude, try get it out. How is that even in there, yeah?
Caution. Arigato gozaimasu. For this model, only for CE model uniqueness.
There's a whole bunch of living there's a whole bunch of dead organisms everywhere. There's dead bugs everywhere. There is leaves everywhere. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. But it's actually really cool seeing this because we can see the upgrades and the differences between the 3VZ and the 1MZ. So the 3VZ actually has a metal pipe going down here with cables that break on every single knock sensor. So they've obviously fixed that on the 1MZ and you can see...
We don't know about that.
Well, I don't think it's a common issue.
Does it?
Well, look at this thing. It looks in way better. Oh, that's broken.
Spoke a tad bit too soon there.
Yeah, so we've taken most of this apart. We just need to remove the heads now. And we also need to remove the timing belt, but we won't be able to actually do that until we get the flywheel so we can stop this whole thing from spinning. Or we can borrow Andrew's Milwaukee and zap this thing off. Okay, no worries. Thanks.
Nice, mate.
See ya. So we're on the phone, as you just saw, calling up companies to see if they had any sort of special tools so that we could undo the cam bolt. And I thought of this ingenious way. So we have the crankshaft puller on this connected to 2 bolts bolted in to the camshaft puller with the end of our jack. So look at that. That gave us the leverage to be able to spin this bolt off. And this guy over here, doubting me at every turn.
Always.
Look at that. We don't have any sort of tools to get the leverage, so we're just gonna use this. Goes on the end of the breaker bar. Leverage, dude. No, bring it. The more you bring it, the less leverage you're gonna get.
Literally going to break.
Ah! Did it break, boys? Did it break? Second guessing me at every turn, Lachlan. Jesus. Let me just remind you guys of the setup that we're using here. Look at that. We're lucky enough to have this crank pulley remover insert to our end of the jack. Look at that. Genius, guys. So we're now up to the stage of removing the camshafts, and the way that we're going to do that is by putting in this bolt in over here, because you can see that this gear over here is actually 2 pieces. It's spring loaded, so it's something that we have to do before removing this cam. And I want Lachlan over here to read what the manual says.
Cool.
It's actually crazy. Go.
So there's a little hint in the manual, right? And it says, when removing the camshaft, make certain that the torsional spring force of the sub gear has been eliminated by the above operation, which we've done right there.
Just put the bolt in the freaking cam thing and then you'd be good, but nah, they had to do some really crazy wording over there.
Torsional force.
Torsional force, boys. So we're just going to repeat that process on both sides and hopefully get the cams out. There's a whole process on removing these as well, so you have to follow a certain order, as Lachlan's doing right now. There's timed marks. There's marks on each one of these, so you don't have to worry about keeping them order anyway, but we can barely see them because they're just so covered up with, yeah.
Exhaust 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, it tells you everything.
Intake 1, 2, 3, 4. It has arrows to point which way is the front of the engine.
Ooh! So we'll be removing these bearing caps in a specific order, because if you do it incorrectly, you do have the slight chance of actually damaging the cam itself, because
Not damaging, you have the chance of cracking the cam.
Exactly, so yeah, pretty much damaging it. And that's because the valves right now are pushing up against the cam, so that's why we need to rotate this whole thing as well, so that, can you get a light on there as well? There's actually little marks here on the cam gears over there as well, whatever you want to call these. And you can see that there's 2 dots there, and on the other side over there as well, there's 1 dot. So when those are lined up, everything's lined up, you can go ahead and start removing this cam. This is, of course, something, again, that we've never done before, so it's very intimidating, and it's a really good learning experience, because obviously I might have to replicate this on the 3VZ, because the 3VZ is actually known to have head gasket issues, so eventually I'll be doing the same thing on that MR2 over there. But yeah, guys, let's get these cams out.
Uniformly loosen and remove the 10 bearing caps and bolts in several passes.
We probably look like the biggest noobs right now. Fucking bearing caps. I feel like there's going to be a whole bunch of people that have never done this before comment and explain to us, you know, how easy this is and stuff, but it's intimidating. Oh, ho, ho, ho. There you go. First cam ever removed.
Oh, we've got a fucking issue, we can't get this off. Bolt's in the way.
The bolt's in the way of it. Oh shit, we're just going to have to keep it on there.
Yep. Oops.
Okay, because we don't know what we're looking at, but we're just going off common sense, it looks like everything's in pretty good order, actually. Like, if you look at the top of the valve, what are they called? If you look in the buckets or whatever you want to call them, looks like they're got a mirror reflection. I can actually see the camera in there. That's actually really cool. So, doesn't seem to be any wear there. Yeah, let's remove all the rest of them. Another little update, have a look at this.
Head warpage or cracking could result from removing bolts in an incorrect order.
Yeah, we got to do it all in the right order. So we're up to the stage of removing the heads now. We've got all the cams and the cam bearings, or whatever you want to call them. I'm really bad with terminology. I know what it is, but I just can't name things for some reason. I'm just kind of retarded. The bearing caps, that's what they're called. But we've got this all placed over here, and we're now going to start removing the heads. I say heads because there's two of them, because it's a V6. And for those who don't understand what a V6 is, there you go. V6.
Yeah, it's a double overhead cam.
Dual overhead cam. Dock.
Docker.
Lachlan's just pulling the spark plugs out, and as you can see, they're very black. Don't really know what that means. Looks like they just haven't been changed in a while, it seems. Who knows? There's a little bit of corrosion, it looks like.
If I ever put these on, I'm so tight.
Now, one thing that I forgot to mention as well while we were actually pulling the heads off. Oh my god, I cooked that so hard. So one thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video is actually why we're pulling this whole engine apart. I probably did, actually, I'm not too sure. But the reason why we're doing that is because we need to check if the cylinder walls, the bores in the engine bay are actually...
And the engine bay?
Say it for me.
We need to check if the cylinder walls have been scored or marred or any sort of damage to see if the engine actually has compression.
Because if it doesn't, then it's a see you later engine in the junkyard, and we probably will just chuck all this out.
Another Mannheim adventure.
But yeah, that's the reason why we're taking the heads off, so we can actually see the pistons and rotate the engine and have a look at all the walls and stuff. And after that, we can pretty much determine whether we're going to use this engine. And yeah, it's also giving us a little bit of experience removing all the parts, so it's pretty cool. This has even got the manual over here telling us the order. Several passes, does it say?
Yeah. Oh my fuck, dude.
Yeah, we've just been through the whole procedure of removing these head bolts, so we actually had to do an order. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever. But we managed to get them all loose. Lachlan is now going to attempt to pry the head away, the block.
Well, this corner's loose.
Is it? Mm. Push on, let's see. Ooh, ooh! Someone's gonna be probably cringing at this. Oh, you gotta take the bolts out, dude. Take the bolts out fully.
Dude, it smells so bad. Oh my god.
Dude, it smells nice. Oh, I can smell that too. It smells bad. When you're ready. Oh my god. What?
Oh.
It stinks.
Oh,
dude, there's the pistons, guys. This is crazy. Oh, it stinks. Fucking hell. Combustion smells. Oh, let's see the underside.
What high as I can go.
Oh. How do they look? I mean, they look fine, but it looks like the head gasket's gone bad. I don't know if that was because of us when we removed this and getting oil everywhere, but actually...
Dude, the cylinder walls look like perfect.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Wow, dude. Imagine minimal servicing on this car and it's done like 300,000 kilometers. And the cylinder walls look pretty good. I mean, we'll have to rotate the engine and all, but looks good so far.
Oh, got oil leaking. Hey, Danny, you know what this sounds like?
What?
Hey, Danny. Oh! Did I get the drain pan?
Holy fuck.
Drain pan?
Drain pan?
Drain pan.
Oh, jeez, dude, there's so much coolant left in the... I don't... Oh.
Well, we're gonna have to clean it up anyway now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to clean it. Right, that's so funny. Oh my god. Dude, that's gonna mix with like everything in there. Like all the oil galleries, piston walls. Yeah, we cooked it. There's so much in there, what the hell?
This is fucked.
So funny. Go. Is it stuck on something? Oh. Oh shit.
Oh, fucking cylinder's full of coolant.
Probably I should get a cloth in there. Fast forward probably a couple hours, we're in the garage now and I need to update you on what actually happened. So when we got all that stuff, the coolant in the piston, oh bloody hell, there's shit going everywhere. But when we got the piston, when you saw the pistons, we saw all the coolant and stuff in there. That is not an issue at all. That was because there was obviously coolant left in the head and obviously just went everywhere. Damn, we need to vacuum all these things up. Anyway, you can see that the cylinder walls as well are in really good shape. They're actually reflective, so they don't have any sort of pitting or scoring at all anywhere, and I think that they're in excellent condition, even though I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And if we come over here, here is the mess that we have left. Here are all the parts that we have removed from the 1MZ. There is a lot of stuff here, bolts, everything, spark plugs. This is something that's actually mind-boggling because I never thought that we'd be getting to the stage of doing engine disassembly, and here we are doing engine disassembly. So it's actually pretty crazy. It's also crazy how small the engine looks with both the heads off. It's like only a couple of hands. I mean, I've got big hands, but look at that. Look at that. Anyway, stay tuned for this build. I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to get this 1MZ in Lachlan's car because it's actually going to be quicker than mine because this engine makes more power and is lighter than the one in my MR2, and there are various different reasons for why I didn't choose this engine, so we'll discuss that in another video. But for now, hope you guys are enjoying this teardown, which is of course is the first time that we've ever done anything like this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.